We ready? I'll start by saying thanks for coming out today. I appreciate Joker letting us piggyback on this event. And I think first and foremost, what I'd like to do is thank our fans. The weekend we just got done with was outstanding. It was fun. Our kids loved it. I think it was good for our fans. It was certainly good for the program, and it was a good time. Obviously the weather cooperated, but there was a lot of energy out there, and we're going to go on the road for the next 2 weekends, but when we get back, we'd love to see that place full again. So hopefully we'll do a good job for you on the road and make it easy to come on out in about 3 weeks. We're off to a good start. We're excited about it. We've got a lot of things that have gone our way. We've done a good job in several areas, and we've got a lot of things that we can continue to work hard at and get better at. And that's what we'll do. We're excited to go play UC tomorrow night and head down to Knoxville for the second weekend of the conference season, and that's kind of where we are with our schedule. And, hopefully you've got some interesting questions for me. Feel free.
The start, you surprised?
You know, Alan, I've got that a lot, and kind of my answer to that really is that when the season starts, I certainly am not planning on 21 in a row, but you're hoping to go out and play the first weekend good. I thought that we would be vastly improved. I thought we'd be tougher. I thought we'd have more depth. I thought we'd be better defensively. I didn't know that we'd be quite as good defensively as we have been for the most part of it, and I know that's a long answer, but pleasantly surprised.
Top 5 recruiting class from 2008 all moved on except Michael now. Is there something you notice about this team that maybe that group didn't have, or even with as talented as they were?
Yeah. Can you imagine how many nights I've thought about that? Really, you know, when you look at that and you examine that, and I was in this room several years ago, and somebody asked Coach Brooks about recruiting classes, and he said, "Get back to me in 3 years, and I'll let you know how good they were." And I've never forgot that, you know. And more specifically, to answer your question, I would say that our group right now has got a very good feel for the game. We've got a very good level of toughness, competitive spirit. How that compares to the 08 group, I'm not 100% sure. One thing that we don't have is Alex's arm. You know, that was a special arm, and something that was a little bit different to be a part of, and was fun. But we've just got more depth than we had during the time when those kids were here.
In late game situations, I mean, what has it been? I mean, especially against South Carolina, I think you guys outscored them by a bunch of runs the last 4 innings or so, and the bullpen's been good too. What's been the key element in that?
Well, I think when you look at one particular weekend series, sometimes you can get on a roll and things just go your way, you know, and line drives, you know, where the bad guys are caught, and bloopers for the good guys fall in, and sometimes those things happen. I thought our kids pitched with a lot of poise and a lot of confidence out of the pen. Anytime you go 10 1/3 over 3 games and they don't score, you know, that's more than just luck. So we did a nice job on the weekend with that, but to this point, we've had a tremendous sense of calm in the close games. I believe it's 8 one-run victories, and I've been you know, in baseball a long time, and enough to know that those things can turn on you. But to this point, we've been really confident, really poised in close games late.
What A.J. Reed and Zach Zellers, I don't even know anyone was thinking Zach Zellers, maybe Reed. Just talk about those two.
Well, they've been great additions. They're different type talents, and they're different type personalities. Both very beneficial to have on a club. Zach is confident and tough, as well as skilled. AJ has got a tremendous feel for the game for an 18-year-old. And I think he benefits from being a two-way player. And I think one of the benefits that the two-way player has, he understands how difficult it is to do the other aspect of the sports more so than the guy that's a pitcher only or the position guy. And I think that gives them a little bit of an insight, and at times can allow them to relax a little bit. Remember, the other guy's a little more intense, but they've both been very, very good additions to our offense. They're both good kids that have a feel for the game, and they're fun to be around.
Gary, could you talk about Maley's approach at the plate this year and his strikeout to walk ratio, how different it is and what it's done for your entire team?
Well, it's done a lot. The first part, it was getting goofy there for a little bit in terms of when was he finally going to strike out. You know, I don't remember the total number of at-bats, but you know, it got a little extreme for the first part of the season. But his ratio is fantastic. And Brent Ingram has provided me this cheat sheet here to tell you exactly what it is. Maley has walked 13 and struck out 4. You're not going to see that very much. 3-1 the other way. But he's done a very good job of identifying the strike zone. He recognizes off speed early. He's worked really hard, Luke has, to improve all areas of his game, and he brings a real confidence in the box that has really helped. I don't know that it's permeated our club yet, but it certainly has influenced other guys. There's no question about that. Everybody in this room understands how those things work from a positive and a negative way, and obviously for us at this point it's worked very positively. But his presence in the box screams confident, and he's done a really good job. You know, he had a really good start through January and February in our inter squads, and then when the games started in the middle of February, you know, he really didn't have his best rhythm. So I was really impressed with the first 2 weeks that Luke had in terms of he was producing and he was coming through, but he was clearly not at his best, and he fought through that, and you know, he came out the other side, you know, very well.
Got a lot of outfielders contributing already. What's the challenge of getting all those guys in the lineup? Is that kind of the problem, kind of like that?
It's a very good problem to have, and it is a challenge because you're looking to get the guys that are either 4th or 5th on that list sometimes, so that they're good that when you need them. You want to do the best job that you can to give everybody that deserves an opportunity to play an opportunity. And at the same time, you have a responsibility to everybody involved with our program to put your best players out there on the field as much as you can, and give yourself the best chance to win. And the dilemma that coaches everywhere have is, you know, the guy hasn't had an at-bat in a week, and I got to give him an opportunity, as opposed to this guy's hot and we got to leave him in because he gives us the best chance to win. And what you really hope as a baseball coach is that you provide enough of a cushion, you know, after 4 or 5 innings, to give some other guys opportunity on those days, or you just make the switch. And you know, we haven't had a lot of those opportunities. We've had a few, but we haven't had a lot. We played a lot of close games, and there's some real benefit in that as well. But the challenge is exactly what you think it would be. We got to get everybody as many at bats as we possibly can after we've done everything we can to win.
How did the non-conference schedule and being at home get you ready for South Dakota? How did it lead into that? How did it help it? Was there some momentum, confidence, that kind of thing?
Well, what I thought when I put it together is I wanted to give us the best chance that I could to get comfortable, you know, and you know, you don't have a crystal ball when you do that. You just do the best you can, and it worked in that we were able to have some confidence. We were able to get some guys an opportunity to play. We won some games, some close games. Would it have been different if we would have had an additional weekend on the road? I don't know that it would or wouldn't have been. We came off that first weekend on the road with a lot of confidence and tremendous camaraderie and a great feeling about the club. So I don't know that an additional one on the road would have made any difference. But through the first 18, the kids have done everything we've asked, and you know, we got ourselves in a position to be ready to play.
Gary, what's been the reaction to the skyrocketing in the polls?
Haven't seen our kids yet. I've seen about 6 of them of the pitchers to watch video in the last 2 days. But we haven't met with the club. We'll do that today, this afternoon. They'll certainly hear my opinion and my thoughts, you know, on how to proceed. Yeah, and I think it's kind of the typical. You know, it's a nice place to be. It doesn't mean anything. They don't hand out regional bids based upon what your record is in the middle of March. They don't give you an opportunity to host yet. So we've got to handle all those things and move forward in, you know, a respectful manner of the game is what I think. And I'm really fortunate. I played on really good teams in college. I was not a particularly talented player, but I got to play, and I loved to play. But my junior year, we went from 28-8 to 52-8. We won 24 games in a row, and I learned a lot at that period of time. in terms of how you handle those things and what's important and what's not important. And I tell our kids all the time that there are more distractions, more challenges now for them in their lives and the people around them than there's ever been in collegiate athletics. And I think that's an accurate assessment. And so they'll hear some more of that from me, Dick, in terms of the things that I think are truly important, what we need to focus on, what's not important. You know, moving forward, just trying to do a really good job of handling tomorrow night's ball game at UC before we do anything else.
You've got a lot of first-year guys, but you got a lot of veterans. Although they've never been in this situation either. Are you concerned with how even your veterans handle this?
No. You know, maybe the joke will be on me in a week, but I'm not concerned. They're very respectful of what baseball is and how easy or how difficult the game can be at times. And one of the benefits you have, in my opinion, of having kids that have been through a rough patch in their careers or on teams is that they don't take anything for granted. And to this point, I think that's a very accurate reflection of our group. There hasn't been anything taken for granted. Whether you're talking about how, you know, Luke or Michael or Taylor or Walt, any of those kids, how they've gone about their business has been tremendous. They're not giddy. They're not expecting anything to come their way that they haven't had to earn or won't have to earn in the future. You know, so no, at this point in time, I'm pretty secure that they're pretty grounded, and there'll be challenges. You know, the people around them get excited. I don't think that we're the only team like that. I think that's what college athletics is. You do a nice job, you get some recognition, and I think the people around them, rightfully so, they get excited. And that's my job, and as well as my staff's job, to keep them grounded and understand that tomorrow night's going to be a dogfight at UC.
You talked about defense earlier. How's JT handled moving into the infield primarily to stay and rated over the shortstop?
Well, I think he's handled it great. You know, he would have played a lot more at second base last year if Nico wouldn't have broken that finger. You know, and that's just the way it goes. Sometimes on teams, injuries occur, and it changes roles a little bit. And so, you know, JT had a bunch of work in the infield early last year before we had to move him out to right field. I haven't seen him do anything but handle it outstandingly since you know, we've started. He's got some unique skills. He's got a chance to play baseball for a long time. Now he's got to handle being at Kentucky first, but he's very athletic, and the arm strength at second base allows you to turn double plays. That, you know, and I don't know that he's got the strongest arm in college baseball at second base, but he's certainly well above average. You know, and that's why one of the reasons I'm particularly interested in leaving him over there. His athleticism and his range and his arm strength at second base allows you to do things that you know, we haven't had really, in all honesty, the ability to do that part of the game since John was here in 06.
Gary, a lot of baseball person trying to refer to cross baseball and football just for a second. I'm assuming that Brian Adams has decided to stay with football completely, as is he on the baseball team? And if not, comment on the decision.
Is he on? I'm sorry. Well, here's what I got lost just a little bit.
Brian Adams.
Okay, Brian's with us, and I talked to Joker and Brian both about 4 weeks ago, and he was proceeding as far as I know with baseball and football, and I would expect that they're going to have their conversation here sometime in the near future, and when they do, I'll visit with them.
Is McCarthy a second half of the season type of a hitter? Because last year he started a little slow and then really went nuts the last 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I'd sign that deal if I could. I honestly, I'll tell you what he's hitting. Thomas is hitting 240. He's clearly hit better than 240 in terms of what it looks like, but he hasn't hit 340. You know, he's the guy that has had more line drives caught than he deserved to at this point. And he's also the guy that has certainly not found his rhythm that he has. He hit 400 well, he's hit 400 in overall as a freshman, 400 overall as a sophomore. He hit 400 last year in league, and I suspect that he's going to get hot here moving forward. And with my my hope for him is that he can relax and see the ball and swing and strikes, because as soon as he starts doing that at a little bit better rate, a little bit more frequently, a little bit more efficiently, he's going to take off.
You went out and recruited help for your bullpen, and as you well know, it doesn't always work out the way you hope, but it seems like it has